Hello guys, welcome back to House of Crimel and welcome back to another video. It has been a little while, excuse me, not intentionally, but yeah, I just been busy being pregnant and trying to get things done. So I am back with my second trimester wrap up or recap. Currently I am in my third trimester and I was like, I need to get this out before, you know, this trimester is over. So it hasn't been that long since I've entered into third trimester, but I felt like it was the perfect opportunity really to talk about how the second one went. For those of you that do not know, my name is Crimel. This is my house, and I am sharing my pregnancy journey, or parts of it anyway. This is my second pregnancy. I do have one son. He is 3 years old, and I love him to pieces. And I couldn't be more excited to be able to give him a sibling. So I'm also married. My husband's name is Charles. He is also in many videos on the channel, so you know, check us out. We love to have you here. So with that being said, this is my second pregnancy, like I've said, and there are things that are happening this go round that did not happen to me the first go round. So I'll talk a little bit about those things as I go down my list. I have it on my phone here. You guys know how I roll. With some of you guys know how I do, but I like to kind of try to keep up with my talking points, and I put the notes in my phone. So without further ado, let's get started. The order of this may be a little bit different than my first trimester recap. Maybe not that different, but we're gonna try to get to the points a little bit sooner. So the first thing, overall, how has it been? Overall, it has not been bad. It's been pretty pleasant. I have been tired and I have experienced certain pains that I didn't necessarily experience with my first pregnancy. I talked to my doctor about a lot of it, and she said this is very common. When you've had a pregnancy before, you know, things have already kind of been used, for lack of a better word. That's not what she used. That's not the word she said. That's the word I'm using. So things are a little bit looser, not as quite as tight, and you know, it's just you working with you know, the factory's been used before. So good. That's a good thing, I guess. And I'll get into a couple of the more specifics as I keep going. I'm still very much healthy, so it is a healthy pregnancy. It has not been nothing critical has happened. I do have a little bit of a story time about one event, but outside of that, most things have been very positive. And you know, aside from regular tests and, you know, regular doctor's visits, I haven't had to do anything quote unquote special outside of a woman pregnant at my age. I am 38 years old, and outside of a woman pregnant for the second time, I guess I should say. Oh, speaking of doctor's visits, at this stage in the game, I am starting to make rounds to meet other doctors in my practice. I've primarily been seeing my primary OB, who I hope will deliver my baby. That is the intent, that is the plan. But my doctor is a part of a practice, and in the event that she is not, for some reason she's not available that day that I give birth, one of the doctors on duty will do that. So if you're part of a practice like me, they like for you to at least meet with the other doctors on staff, so the chances of a total stranger delivering your baby are much lower. Now, it is my desire for my doctor to deliver my baby, and that is her desire and intent too, but these things happen. So I will say, in my first birthing experience, My doctor that I saw the most, that I consider, well, no, I didn't just consider her, she was my doctor, did deliver my baby. And I hope to have the same thing happen again. All right, so let's get into specific symptoms. So major symptoms, like I said, overall, everything's been pretty healthy. But I have had so much more soreness and discomfort earlier in the game. Most of the pain, or discomfort rather, because I'm careful not to call it pain. I'm not just walking around in pain every day. Discomfort, there has been some discomfort. By that I mean something I don't desire to feel, but it's nowhere, it's not even close to killing me or whatever, but you just kind of wish, you like, oh, it would be a little bit easier if I wasn't feeling this right now. So that's why I like to use the word discomfort, so that when I am talking pain, I can really speak to actual pain. But I didn't feel a lot of discomfort until closer to the end of my first pregnancy. There were some uncomfortable days, but overall, I was pretty spry. I could drop it like it's hot. I might need a little bit of help to get up, but not much. I have to think about that twice this go around. But I have started experiencing that type of discomfort much earlier, second trimester. So like I said, it was more so the end last time. And most of it, I've chalked it up to what is called round ligament pain. And round ligament pain is described as something that your bones and your joints and I guess your ligaments are getting looser and relaxing. And when whatever that chemical is that's releasing in your body and your bones and your muscles or whatever, it could cause discomfort. And I have definitely felt it. I felt it when I'm walking. I felt it anytime. I can't necessarily sit too long, and I can't necessarily stand too long. And I have to be extremely careful about how I plan my days as far as trying to get things done. One of the most frustrating things for me lately has been really wanting to push to do certain things and get certain things ready. And also, I have a 3-year-old to tend to. So he still needs my attention. He's becoming more independent by the day, which makes me both happy and sad, but also happy. But he still needs me. He's still a young child, and there are things he still needs from me. So having the energy to run behind or tend to a toddler, and my energy and sometimes motivation, but just ability can become on short supply. And that's just a reality that I've had to face. It's not always been a happy one, but keeping that in mind, I try not to push myself too hard or be too hard on myself for not being able to take a whole entire weekend to like move things around in our house or shop all day or look around for stuff all day, just because I'm not able. Now, what I will say is this go round, I am not necessarily ashamed to use the scooter in stores. With my first pregnancy, I did not want to use a scooter. I felt like people would look at me and be like, look at that girl in the scooter. I don't know why. I don't look at people and judge them on the scooter, but I guess I thought people would judge me because I'm not necessarily disabled or anything like that. I would be hesitant to use the scooters or the carts, electric carts. One, because I always want people that I feel like actually need it to have it available to use, if that makes sense. And a lot of stores only have like 2 and 3 of them. But I had to come to the realization that if I needed to get certain things done, I am a person that actually needs to use the scooter that day. Now, if I'm feeling great and I don't have too much else planned and it's the morning, of course, I will take my regular cart and walk around the store because I like to get some type of exercise. And because I'm not getting a ton of like exercise. And since the pollen has come to Georgia, it's been kind of hard for me and my son to walk outside. But we still try to do certain things. but that's a part of the exercise I like to try to get if I can. But I am not shy about using the scooter in the stores anymore. In my first pregnancy, I was even like, we traveled to New Jersey for an event, and there, when we were coming back, my husband was like, Carmel, you're going to need to get wheelchair assistance to the gate. And I didn't want to, but because my husband wanted that for me, I agreed to do it. But when I tell you, I cried. I was being so dramatic. I cried when we were sitting there waiting for them to come pick me up. But when we made the journey just to TSA and through the airport, I was so happy that my husband pushed for me to accept the wheelchair access, because that walk would have been a lot for me at that stage in my pregnancy, because that trip was made pretty. I was probably just starting my 3rd trimester when we made that trip. So, you know, all in all, today I'm not ashamed to use one of the carts, mainly at Target or Home Depot or Lowe's, because it's a lot of walking. And if I can save that energy to put towards something else that day that I really want to also get done, like laundry. I'm setting up the nursery right now. I'm tending to my son, like I said. So then I will do that, just to reserve a little bit more to keep going throughout the day. Okay, enough about that. I know I went on about that a bit long. Another symptom, I got like a rash on my chest. This also happened to me through my first pregnancy, and I was pretty familiar with it. Originally, my doctor prescribed a cream for me to use for it because it just kind of wasn't going away. But the cream seemed to it didn't like make it go away. So I asked for a powder that I used in my prior pregnancy that helped to really clear it up, keep it dry, make it go away. And that seems to be working for me right now. And one thing I do remember is that after I had the baby, the rash like went away. So that hasn't really been super annoying, but it did happen again. So I thought that was notable. So next symptom, unusual hair growth. Now, one thing that you have to know about me is that I don't grow a ton of body hair. This includes like my legs, even my underarms. I grow hair under there, but it's not like a whole lot. It's enough for me to shave it, but my legs, I don't shave my legs. I don't have to shave my legs. And when I mean, if it ever has come up in conversation, which it has throughout my life, if I've ever said it as a grown woman, people look at me like, F you. I was like, I didn't know that was a point of contention because I've never had to shave my legs. But many women have to shave their legs, and it is a chore if they don't want the hair there. I don't grow hair on my legs. So with this history, imagine growing a chin hair or two on your face. I was really taken aback. I think one day I was washing my face and I thought, you know how you just kind of feel something, and I thought something had just gotten on my face, on my chin, but it didn't come off and it hurt a little bit. So I looked closer and I had 2 very small chin hairs under my chin. I was a little freaked out about it, but I just decided I was like, well, you know what, Carmel, people shave or wax unwanted facial hair every day, and that's just what you're gonna do. So I went and bought some of those facial waxing strips from Target and took them both right off, and they haven't grown back. But that was something very new for me, just as a woman, period. Like, I've never grown hair on my face. I have very thin eyebrows. Like, hair has just not been, like, thick hair growth has just not ever been a thing for me. So I was just super surprised to see that happen. Next symptom, second, it's getting better now, but a lot throughout my second trimester, I did not sleep well at night. If I wasn't getting up to use the bathroom, I was having dreams, which I'll talk about after this. If I wasn't having dreams, I had to use the bathroom. Or I just literally had to switch positions from side to side a few times throughout the night. And it would be like every couple hours I would need to move to a different side of my body. That was kind of annoying, and it definitely interrupted my sleep and made me really, really tired some days. But I will say it's happening a little bit less. Either that or I've just gotten used to it. I'm not sure which one, but I don't feel as bad about it anymore. But this brings me to another symptom, is dreams. Now, this is something very new to pregnancy, period, for me. I have been having like cinematic level dreams at night. It doesn't happen every night, but if I don't pay attention to something that I might eat, like that may have been sugar in it, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even think I need a prompt to have the types of dreams that I've been having. And it's literally like I'm in a movie and I'm watching it. And when I tell you, waking up from those dreams is I'm exhausted, because I feel like it just takes so much energy to dream on that level. I'm so tired the next day I wake up. But it's like, but it is entertaining. I remember one dream in particular where I dreamed that I wasn't necessarily in it, but I was kind of like a spectator and I was there. But it involved like a Trojan horse, and they tried to break into this castle, but it didn't work at the first time. And then they tried a second time, and for some reason it worked. They stormed the castle, and it was Game of Thrones on when they got in the castle. And I'm just watching all of this. It was crazy. But it literally felt like I was in a movie. So yeah, when I say cinematic level dreams, I mean just that. So that's been new and interesting. Very vivid, very just crazy dreams. I touched on this just a little bit, but the need to nest has come, I want to say, a little bit earlier. I definitely wanted to get things done during my first pregnancy, but it didn't really hit me until around the third trimester. Second trimester was great, my first pregnancy, because I remember being super, super, super tired in the first trimester, and then I gained all this amazing energy back in the second. And I wasn't as fatigued for sure. I gained energy in the second trimester again, but I didn't necessarily gain the ability to be able to do some of the things that I really wanted to do, because I was uncomfortable more. But the need to nest did strike me earlier, and it was frustrating because that, combined with the inability to like kind of execute, was very frustrating. I have learned how to deal with it a bit better now, but I'm not gonna lie, it's very frustrating sometimes when you really just want to go get something done, or you just want to power through. I felt a certain task, like we have a guest room and we're making that the baby's room, and it took us, I feel like it took us so many weeks just to finish clearing it out. And it was annoying, because that, on top of doing everything else that we just have to do regularly, was just such a task. We finally gotten through that, and I can't wait to start showing you guys the nursery transformation. So be on the lookout for that, because I have some surprises in there for my big boy too. So we'll see. I mean, you guys will see what's happening with that when I start to put that video together. But it was just, I just felt like we could have been done with that so much sooner than we were. But the good news is we have gotten there, and we're making progress. So a lot of progress. Next, this is kind of more so a secondary symptom. It's not necessarily mine, but my son, now that I bring him up. He has started to book. There was a period in time, I feel like he's starting to come back off of it again. But I kind of expect it to come back around when the baby comes, or maybe again. But he started to get super clingy. And I'm not sure if he knew why he wanted to be clingy, but he's constantly, like, as if he wasn't already always climbing on top of me or doing anything that 3-year-olds do. He just always just wanted me. He wanted to hug me. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, it did get on my nerves, because it's just a lot to deal with, having both a human inside of you kicking you and moving around, and also one on the outside of you tugging at you, climbing on you, pulling on you, and it can sometimes become... Alright guys, so this is Editing Crimel. I recorded this video a while back, and I forgot that I didn't finish recording. I think my memory card got full and my battery was close to dying, and then my son and husband came home really soon after that, so I didn't get a chance to recording. But I'm going to take a moment, and I hope you guys excuse it's been like a really chill day for me. So I look really casual right now. But I wanted to finish the video. So I left off talking about how clingy my son had gotten, and I think you got the gist of it. He has backed off a lot. Sometimes it creeps back in, but like I was saying before, I think it just more so overwhelmed me also, because it's just a lot. And I'm one person, and one thing I've discovered about myself is that I get kind of what do you call it? I get kind of overwhelmed with a lot of touch sometimes, and you can walk in. And I think that's magnified through pregnancy. Say hi to hubby. And so yeah, and also I worry about him, and I worry about how he's going to handle having a big brother, a little brother, or being a big brother and having a little brother and another baby coming into the house. But the truth of the matter is, it's happening, and we will handle it as it comes, you know. So, and that's where I'll leave that. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about my cravings. Still have my little list right here. And this part is going to be short, because honestly, I didn't have a lot of cravings during my second trimester. Yeah, there was nothing specifically that I just wanted or needed all the time. And to be honest, I'm still that way right now. Like I told you before, I'm currently in my 3rd trimester. But there wasn't a lot that I just wanted to eat. Like I eat like like regular. And it was kind of funny, because the nurse and my doctor actually commented on and I guess this is more of a 3rd trimester thing, so I'll be careful. I'll try not to talk too much about that, but I am currently in the 3rd trimester right now. But at one of my latest doctor's visits, they did talk about how well I've been managing my weight gain throughout the pregnancy. And I actually felt proud of myself, because I was like, there isn't really anything I'm doing special, but I don't feel the need to like just eat the house either. So I don't know, something is working there. So yeah, not too much to say about cravings. I don't really have any abnormal cravings right now. And okay, so the products I have been using or trying, they have kind of helped me, and others that really didn't, but I'll talk about them anyway. So the first one I want to talk about is belly bands. So I talked a bit about my round ligament pain earlier in the video. And one of the things that two of my doctors suggested was getting a belly band. The first one I got was kind of on the thinner side, and it was like it was more fabricy, if that makes any sense. I'll link them below. And I can see how it could work for some, but it really didn't work for me, and sometimes I felt like it caused more pain, if that made any sense. I felt like it fit. I felt like it was the right size, but I don't know, it just wasn't working for me, and I always ended up taking it off. So I decided to try a new band. My doctor one of my doctors that I visited with suggested a belly band by the brand Jobst, and I didn't end up buying one because I actually found one that I bought before during my first pregnancy that I never used. It does feel a little bit better, but honestly I still don't use it a lot, just because I feel like there's something that has been working for me a bit better than bands, and that'll lead me to the next set of products that I've been using, and it's just maternity support wear. Maternity support wear has helped me out tremendously, especially on days that I have to be a bit more active. So I have a couple of things. I have some I guess you would call it like medium compression leggings that I got from Target by the brand Isabel. That's like their maternity brand at Target. I love them. They come up high, but they also do kind of a cross back thing that kind of works in your favor. And then there is just a level of compression with the leggings anyway. I highly recommend some sort of compression legging, even compression socks. Like, there's something about it that just gets the blood flowing if you really need that extra push of energy, or you're having a really sore day in your legs or something. They just help. I also have a shapewear piece by Spanx. It's a full like body suit, but it has a built-in maternity belly, and it also like helps to hold up and hold in and give you that extra support. So I guess you don't feel as heavy, you don't feel like you're dragging a whole lot, and everything just feels a lot more pulled together and pulled up, so you just don't feel like you're dragging a lot of extra weight, especially on days that you really need the extra support. I have a short, it's like a sort of a biking short, but not to wear out. It goes under your clothes, but I want to say it's by the brand Bell Fit. And I also have some leggings that are a little bit lower compression, but they still work. They're very comfortable. I really wouldn't consider those shapewear, but I like them. They're nice too. I'm trying to think if there's a third piece. Yes, how could I forget? I have a pair of Spanx maternity shapewear shorts that you wear under your clothing, and those are also very supportive. I bought 3 different brands because I kind of wanted to try them out, but honestly they all really work well, as long as there's like medium to higher compression depending on the needs of your body. I say you can't really go too wrong with most of the brands. So, and there's a lot of them out there. So those are the things I've been wearing, and I will link each of those below. I kind of talked about this, compression socks. Game changer for longer days that I know I'm going to be walking more, or if I need to be more active, it's like a superpower, honestly. You have to try them. So, and they're also great. I had compression socks left over from postpartum after I had my first son, because they help with you retain liquid in your body after you have a baby. Some people get rid of it rather quickly, like at the hospital. Some people don't. I didn't. I came home and I was wondering, I was like, what's up with me? I have, like, my legs are still big. Like, some parts of me were bigger than when I left with the baby in me. So, but it was just water or like fluid, and it was just take extra blood, extra water, all of that. And it just took some time to like actually come out. And compression socks, even a compression legging, really help with reducing swelling and, you know, helping your body to move that fluid along. So I'll link the ones that I purchased below, but there's so many on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure there's some in stores you can get to. Two other things. Bio oil. I have been using it on my belly. My belly hasn't really been itchy, and maybe that's part of the reason why. The reason why I purchased bio oil is because I wanted to try to reduce the amount of stretch marks that I was going to get. You're going to get stretch marks regardless. For some people it's more hereditary than others, but I did get stretch marks with my son. I had stretch marks before I had my son. They weren't like crazy stretch marks, but I just kind of wanted to do a little bit more to kind of help maintain the elasticity of the skin on my belly, and it seems to be working. I really like the feel of it, and encourage you to try it. I really won't know how well it worked until after, you know what I mean, but I've heard great things. Bio oil can also be used for other things, not just stretch marks or pregnancy, but, you know, scars and other things. So check it out. But I have been using it on a pretty regular basis. Mainly I use it right after I get out of the shower, and one of the first things I do is oil my belly and my hips where I know I'm prone, and, you know, go from there. Last thing, a hand brace. I'm sorry if you hear my washing machine. It is running right now, so that's you hear. This is after dark Carmel, if you will. But I want to finish this video. But I have a hand brace. So off and on during the second trimester, I started to get a symptom that I was familiar with, which is called carpal tunnel, and it is possible to just get carpal tunnel during pregnancy. I really didn't have any issues like that before, but the way it feels, it's like an extreme numbness on in your hands and your wrist or whatever. It can occur if you're doing a repetitive task at work, and it used to hit me a lot, or sometimes every now and then when I would go to sleep, and if I'm laying on a certain, like my arm too long or one arm too long, and it particularly favored my right hand, my hand would get so numb that it would wake me up out of my sleep, because the numbness turned to like pain. And I didn't know it was carpal tunnel until I think I asked my cousin, or I did a little bit of research. One of the two, probably both. But started to feel a little bit of that creep in. It's been pretty minimal since the second trimester, nothing like the first time around, but I do have a hand brace for if it does get too bad, and I recommend having one if you just so happen to, you know, need one. Yeah, I recommend getting a hand brace if that is something that you are feeling. I have felt a little bit of it in the second trimester, but like I said, nowhere near as bad as I felt it with my first pregnancy, and I hope that continues. So far, I told you I'm currently in my third trimester. I haven't really had to use it either. And gender reveal, names. If you have not already seen this video, I did a short a couple weeks ago where I revealed the name and gender of our baby. Then I'll link it at the bottom, but I'll try to put something here if I can't. I encourage you to go and view it. I won't tell you here, but it is already on the channel, so go find that YouTube short. I was kind of passionate about this song. It's been in my head ever since probably I found out about the sex of the baby and the gender. So please go and view that YouTube short so you can find out the gender and the name also. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's been a long time, and I'm trying to get back to recording frequently. I do have lots to share. It's just been difficult to keep up. So like, comment, and subscribe this video. Comment your second trimester experiences down below. I would love to hear about them, and let's keep chatting. That's it. Talk to you guys later. Bye. What?